You could think like, hey, this girl is beautiful, especially if you're a guy in America, you're an older guy, and you have this young woman who's very beautiful sending you pictures, sending you videos. You think you really have something, just babying you up, laughing at all your jokes, making you feel like nobody else has met you before. Probably a scam.
Hi guys, welcome to Kenganda. My name is Janita Maya and this is the REPAT Podcast. I'll let the gentleman on my right introduce himself.
Hi guys, Outer Brian here representing.
O'Shea Duke Jackson, Sacramento. Let's get to it.
Okay, you guys are not adding in anything else. You're just giving names.
Outer
wanna-
Brian
They already know who you are.
Yeah.
The finest. Had the guy. I better had the guy.
The original African.
Original African. Mr. Kampala. Man from the East.
You think you're so handsome to be Mr. Kampala?
Let the viewers judge. I'll let the viewers judge.
Guys, tell us, do you think Outer Brian is so handsome in the comment section? To be Mr. Kampala. But yeah, guys. So recently there was an influencer from Ghana who was scamming lonely seniors in the US. The scam amounted to 12 million USD.
12 million or 2 million?
Sorry, 2 million. Oh, look at me spreading false
Getting
information.
old? Okay.
So anyway, she scammed people out of their money. It was 2 million. Sorry about that. It was 2 million. So guys, I just want to ask you, how would you spot a scammer? You know, if you're doing business with them or if you're trying to fall in love or something like that, how would you spot a scammer? How would you spot that this person is doing something suspicious, or I need to avoid that, or that's a red flag in the continent?
Yeah, maybe we should put the video up what the lady looks like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a lady.
Yeah, she's so beautiful.
Damn.
She's thick. She looks fine.
She looks like she might be mixed with something. She's actually Ghanaian.
Yeah,
She seems like she's mixed race, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's fine. But yeah, this is something that's a problem. Yeah, in our middleman episode, yeah, scamming is unfortunately it's a big thing everywhere, but it does happen here. I would always say, like, if you're a man, yeah, women are gonna probably ask you for money if you're dating overseas. I'm not gonna tell you not to send, but something that's like out of reason, like over $100 for somebody you've never met is out of reason. So some of you guys will know, like, ladies will send you like, oh, I'm in the hospital. My dad died, things like that. That's pretty like local Africa, local Dominican Republic kind of thing. But then stuff like business deals. I can purchase real estate for you. Like, you never ask a woman about, can you get this business set up for me? That's how you guys get hit. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to send you $100,000 to buy this piece of land or whatever like that. And once you hit that transaction send button, bro, that's it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I would think if a woman really wants to know you, get to know you for you, of course, and this is why it's going to be very difficult, I would say, for a lot of women who are not used to foreigners, dealing with foreigners. I would say many ladies are going to up front within the first 48 hours ask you for some money, data or something. And that's very offensive to most guys in the West. I don't know about here, but it's offensive. So what I would say is, if you start that with that lady, usually if you say no, then they're going to call you back, which is probably the best thing. But at least a woman should be having some interest in who you are. It's okay to send money, I would say, if it's reasonable amounts. You know what I mean? Something over $100, it's a red flag. $10,000, hell no. $20,000, no. Yeah, so, and you don't know if these girls are already, let's say, if they have somebody behind them, like if it's a operation. You know, if the girl is being pimped by somebody, you don't know. So like I said, and you can still get scammed and they'll be on the video call with you. Doesn't mean like they're catfish. So you could think like, hey, this girl is beautiful. Especially if you're a guy in America, you're an older guy, and you have this young woman who's very beautiful sending you pictures, sending you videos. You think you really have something, just babying you up, laughing at all your jokes, making you feel like nobody else has met you before. Probably a scam.
Okay, well, thank you for that. Brian, how would you spot a scam?
How would I spot a scam? Maybe
Yeah.
let's first go into details. How was this lady scamming? Because I need to know exactly.
I think she was promising some men marriage and then showing them that they're married or something like that. Yeah.
That is a very strange.
Have you been scammed? Has a girl taken money from you and then you were so hurt by it?
A girl or a man? Because I've been scammed by a man.
Give us both scenarios, please.
No, some ladies also good scammers.
Ooh.
They scam Ugandans on a daily. I don't know whether that is also considered scamming.
No.
Okay, let me give a scenario.
Yeah.
When a lady says she wants to come and see you, then she tells you to send a transport man and she doesn't come. Has she scammed you?
It's actually against the law to do that.
It is.
Yeah, in Uganda, it's not. It's against the law. You can't. If a guy wants to take you to court, he would win. Yeah.
Yeah, so
But don't take anyone to court.
so scamming is a lot. Scamming happens.
But how would you spot
But-
one?
I would spot one. Most of the scams I've witnessed through internet. Like, for example, scammers are always using these, these weird links. They send you links like on your email. You're there, receive an email. You can receive an email. The person is claiming that he or she's from the US and there's this opportunity. But before, you need to sign up. So usually, whenever I see those weird emails, it's already a red flag. I don't know now. My head is so corrupt that even if it's genuine, I can't tell whether it's genuine. Me, so long as I see an email and things are not clear, I just automatically know, this is scammer. Like I don't even risk typing and all that. So it's mainly on the internet and the online. But in this real life, like for example, me, I was scammed. Okay, let me first give you guys a story.
Yeah.
I was staying in Namgongo by then, near the Protestant church around there. So I'm there relaxed. I was home. By then I wasn't working. So this guy calls me. Okay, some weird number. I don't have to go to my number. They called me. Remember, I'm not working. I'm unemployed. I'm broke. Seriously. So this dude is like, hello? Then he talks about where we are sending items, something like that. Where we are sending items, but about this. So the whole story wasn't clear, but I picked interest because he talked about sending items, then he went off. I'm like, it's an opportunity. So I called the man. So he told me, hello, this is why he forged. He talked of some name. Then he's like, do you remember me? So me. Sometimes I just end up pretending for the sake. Because the guy was like, do you remember me? Of course, I couldn't remember him. But for the sake of, falling in line and entering the system, I'm like, yes, I do. So that's where the whole drama began. So this guy is like, there's some items here. I think they wanted, he had some items he just wanted to top up. He wanted some money to top up. Man, it was some weird story. I can't even recall. But all I know, the man made me jump out of the bed and run to the mobile money.
And send him money?
Yes. I don't know whether it's some witchcraft.
It's witchcraft, yes.
It was around 200. Because he talked of some items that were coming. I don't remember the exact scenario. So the items were reaching, but he had some shortage. So he needed some money, then the items would come.
So why would you send him money?
I don't know, but it looked like a good deal. That we were making profit. There's a way he convinced me and we were making profit. So me, I jumped out of the bed. I'm like, this is a deal I can take. So he told me the items are coming towards Kampala. So deposit the money. When they reach, you call me. Then I'll go and pick them, I think, from some hotel. Then again, we deliver them. So me, I jumped off the bed. I sent in the money. I was excited. So I'm there waiting. So the man says the items are moving. Be on standby. So I'm there relaxed on the bed waiting. So I kept calling the man. The man is like, now the items have reached. They were in some hotel. So I was like, okay. So he's like, now what you're going to do, you send me more money. He convinced me to again to add him some top up.
Oh my God.
That's when I said, this is a red flag. Now that's when my head started coming back to it.
Yeah,
to sense it. So I was like, this is a red flag. After some time, it's like, you come to the hotel, see you, we have even started eating. But
So they
bro,
kidnap you.
all I can say, the man's come to me and I got back to my senses. Like, I'm like, bro, this
Yeah.
guy's- yeah. I think he has been the one guy who has really scammed me. And I think he uses some
Archie.
special portion. I don't know.
You know, speaking of that special portion, that people who say when they're downtown, probably random men touch them and then they just give out their phones and handbags
Willingly.
or something like that, and then minutes later they get back to their senses. And when someone says something like that, you're like, what? Like, how does that happen? But it does happen to some people, so I guess you have to be very careful with that. I think my top 2 would be, if it's too good to be true, then that's a red flag. Guys, everything under this earth has been done. You are not the first one. You have not discovered. There's nothing you're discovering. If someone comes to you, is like, oh, gold, especially those gold and silver scams. There's so many in this country, by the way, because people are like, oh, this is a country that has minerals and whatnot. We're getting gold maybe from the West or something like that. Invest this money, and then once you get the gold, you get that money. Like, come on, that's a lie.
Yeah.
Gold doesn't work like that. It's even illegal in itself. That's not how you can acquire gold. So you have to be very careful with something like that. Then the other one would be FaceTime, guys. I do not care if it's a business or a love relationship. Go on a face call with them. There's Google Meet. You can turn on your video. And then when they turn on that video, see the background. You know, someone's background can tell you so much about them, because I feel like if someone has something to hide, you will see some things in the background. I feel like that's just God helping you out. Look at that background, because maybe you could see something that could help you out. Be very observant and very careful, because in this life, people are going to try you and try to get things out of you. Then I think for love, guys, you can't fall in love with someone who's faceless. You have to put a face to the voice, to the name, to whatever it is you're trying to build. You have to be very vigilant and FaceTime, because people now catfish. They'll tell you, I look like this, like a supermodel. Whole time, they're looking like Brian. I'm sorry.
I'll
In a
take
nice
that.
way.
I'll take that.
So you have to be very careful in that you're not catfished by Brian's face, yet the whole time is, showing you that he's a model, so with abs and whatnot, and he has a 6-pack. So be very careful. As for FaceTime, I do not care, because most times with my clients, there's some clients who ask for a voice call, and there's some clients who want a video call. Either way, I'm fine with it, because I need you to know that I'm a legit person. There's a face behind the person you're talking to. I feel like it's easy to look into someone's eyes and then like get a gut feeling out of it, and then be able to tell if maybe they're lying or something like that. But Kohani and Rachel, would you guys like to? How can you spot a scammer on the continent?
Okay, so in Kenya, there's a couple of scammings going on, but the first one that I've seen that is everywhere is the Instagram scam, where they send you and tell you, oh, my life changed ever since I started, I don't know, trading Forex with this person, Then this one time it almost happened to me. So he tells you like, you click the link and you start seeing like most of these things actually do look really legit. Then it gets to a point he's like, go to your profile and change and put this certain name, this email as your email address, so that from his end he can open your account and like write with his email and write forgot password, and now from then you can reset the password. And that's how they take people's accounts. Like right now there's a friend of mine who has sent me such a message, and I was like, friend, you've been conned, you've been scammed, they've stolen your account. But the other one that is really common in Kenya is when jail people try to scam you for money.
Who?
People in jail.
What?
Like Kamiti prison. See, Gilbert is laughing.
Prison Bay?
Yeah, people in jail. So you know how people in jail need money? So now they scam people. And there's a message over here was sent a few days ago. I was trying to
Kohani, you're the writer.
So it says, it's in Swahili, but it says, hi, mom, I don't have books, set books. and they are needed today. So send money to this number. It's the teachers. And when you read it in Swahili, it's so fluent that there is no student in Nairobi who is going to write fluent Swahili on a text. So things like those, like learn how people talk, learn how dialogue moves on, because these scammers try so hard they forget that at the end of the day, to make it seem convincing, you have to talk in the local dialect. Like talk to me like how my younger brother would talk to me. Like my brother will not use fluent Swahili. He will put in English and sheng, like he will talk like a young person. So that's one. And and the other one where they call you. So a lady calls you first.
Ooh.
And she's like, oh, hi, Joanita. There's some money that has been sent to your phone and I will, and we sent it by mistake. Could you please send it back to us? So, and then later she tells you, so I've already called Safaricom. Safaricom is going to give you a call. So somebody else calls you. So immediately she hangs up, a message comes into your phone. And the thing with like Safaricom messages, if Safaricom or MTN or any Airtel sends you a message, it's going to come as Airtel. So with these ones, it comes as an individual number and it says, you have received 90K from so-and-so, your account balance is locked. And it always says account balance is locked. So the other person calls you and says, oh, hi, I'm calling you from Safaricom to tell you that some money has been sent and your account is locked so you can't see your balance. So, and then they ask you, how much money do you have? So meaning, if it was one of those people, they would already know how much money you have in your account because they're at the office. They're the ones who are working on these transactions. So if you fall for that scam, my friend, you will fall for it. There's one time I almost fell for it because I was trying to there's this service Safaricom has, it's called Fuliza, which helps you, like if you don't have enough money on your phone and you're trying to pay for something, they can give you that money and immediately money comes into your phone, they cut off that balance.
Yeah.
And he was like, so you don't have a Fuliza balance? I'm like, yeah, I don't have a Fuliza balance. And he was like, yeah, so I'm calling you from Safaricom. I can give you a Fuliza balance. So he was on loudspeaker and my sister is seated somewhere like where you're seated. And she's like, what are you doing? I'm telling her it's Safaricom. And she's like, no, it's not Safaricom, friend. If it was Safaricom, they would already know this information they're asking you. Why are they asking you all this information? So you have to ask yourself questions at the end of the day. Like, if they are working for the company, why do they need certain information?
Exactly.
Why do they need to know like what my number is? You already have my number. You're the one who issued my number to me. Certain things there's things that will throw you off. So you just have to look for those. It's always the tiny details. It's not always like the big things. It's always like the smallest details. So
So speaking of that, for Americans that might come here, I remember like in January of last year, some guy calls me, and most people will get like MTN or Airtel, right? So there's something called mobile money, just like in, it's called M-Pesa. And now in mobile money, for those of you who live in America, it's like sending money through PayPal or Cash App, but through your phone. So instead of sending it through Cash App or PayPal, you can just send it to my number or vice versa.
Yeah, to your telephone number.
You'll hear some guy calling, and it's probably somebody who probably used to work for MTN. Yeah, or somebody who has a friend inside. And they'll be like, hey, my name is MTN, mobile money, something. And they'll always say, are we together? Like when you hear them, like they're trying to make you follow what they're saying. Are we together now? Like, yeah. And they'll be like, okay, so we're going to send you this code to your phone. Please give us the code. So now, it's a 6-digit code, but now MTN always says never share this code with anybody, right? So the guy will give you, one time, I was voice recording the call, and the guy said a code, and it was like a 6-digit code. If I would have gave him that code, whatever balance I have on my mobile money,
cleaned out,
he would just go and take it, right? So I kept fucking with the guy. I kept giving him the wrong 6 digits, right? So then he's like, no, let me do it again. So I give him the wrong again, right? And then I end up telling the guy, man, yo, you, right? So the guy gets pissed. He's like, your mom's I will you up. Like, you guys go off. So the scammers will actually curse you out if you don't help them. Like,
exactly.
They can abuse you and
That's
shit.
Uganda.
Yeah, like if you don't give them the money, so if you're from somebody like coming from the West or whatever, never like if you have mobile money, your balance, MTN will never call you. Same thing in America, right? Fidelity will never call you, or Bank of America. Like this is big in America. Bank of America will call you. Student loans will call you. They will never call you. People will never call you and ask you personal information. Those are scammers. So same thing here in Africa. If you have a balance, you will go to the MTN service center or Airtel service center. They will handle your claims in there. Like you should never give them your PIN or number. Also, let's say with these people who actually are scam artists. Again, people are talking about I can help you find land. That's a scam. I can introduce you to the president is a scam.
Yep.
Let's see. I hate these middleman guys, but the dating is going to be easier for guys because this is somebody you believe is beautiful, somebody you want to talk to and things like that. Again, it's more common for you to help women out here in Africa. But again, like if you've never met them, and even if you do meet them, you never tell anybody how much money you make, like as an American or from the diaspora, somebody you never disclose. Like, oh, I make this kind of money. And like when you first come here, I notice a lot of Americans have the proclivity to start giving out money like they're in America. Like you'll give somebody $20. I used to do that.
Yeah.
And Jonita stopped me from doing that shit. And now I never do that. I'll give you what I believe, like I know what the currency is. If I give you a tip, I'm not going to give you 100,000 shillings, was like $27 in tips. I might do that in America, but you just become a target when you do that, you know? So I'll give them what I believe is a good tip, what somebody would give here. So you don't want to make that target because you will start getting fake friends, phony friends. And another thing too is I've noticed once you start making a name for yourself, and you're a person that can get things done. One of the sad parts about being a person that can get things done is that being a person that can get things done, you're productive. Everybody starts coming to you with these different ideas. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
So when people see you can do things, they're going to want you to try to do more. And typically what people are going to try to do is they're always going to have a position or plan that takes you away from what you're already doing to help them. And most people have no proof of concept of what they're doing already. You can ask people about a business, what they can do. And as you ask more questions about it, you will understand that they don't know how the business works. So that's one of the things, like most people that will come to you that you don't know, scammers. If they're big brands, that's different. Brenham, that's different.
Yeah.
Stanbic, that's different. Some dude that you meet at Kabira Country Club, most likely a scammer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you never.
Good.
Yeah. Those people are like, if you go to these places like nice places like that, you'd be surprised how many people who are there looking for rich people to scam. Yeah. So
There's that. There's a scam in Africa, well, in Uganda that I know of. So what the girls do is they get talking with this guy in the diaspora or abroad and whatnot, and they say, "Oh, now we're married," right? So, but now you must pay the dowry or the bride price. So you must send this amount of money to my mother, or send this amount of money to my parents to show your level of commitment. And then, unfortunately, the guy falls for it, and then he sends over money to like prove his commitment to the lady or to prove his love to the lady. Yet the whole time she's just coming up with a fake phony certificate. We'll just say, "Oh yeah, let's get married. We'll just do that. So when you come over, we're already married, and then we just do the ceremony, or we can just move together or something like that." So that's a scam in itself that is already happening, and there's nothing you can. Like, we can't help you at that. If your lady is convincing you to pay bride price before you meet her, then that's on you. Then also the importance of Googling. Use Google. And when you Google my name, unfortunately, the thing that comes out is Miss Kavi, because we used to do Miss Kavi. I don't know why Google doesn't bring out the podcast, but when you Google me, it's the Miss Kavi that comes up first. But guys, get people's government names. When I was dating, I used to do this thing where I get people's, I need to see your ID so that I can get your full government name. It's a precaution.
I know.
Because then you can just Google his name and then see what comes up, because there's a girl who was dating someone and she didn't know that the guy was wanted by the police. Now, had she put his name into Google, she would have found out that she was with a fugitive.
Oh, in Uganda?
Yeah, and he was on the run.
Wow. They catch him?
He hid and left.
Criminal
Long story.
authentic.
But you understand, there's a...
You said he hid or he hit and left?
No, he hid and then he left.
That's a true definition of hit and run.
No, he hid himself and then he left the country afterwards. God knows where he is. I hope he's fine now. But what I'm trying to say is, guys, like, do your due diligence. Like, check up on someone, ask around, like, who knows who. But then that's also a big issue because I have some people who watch this podcast and then they say, so they go through my followers and look for the girls that I follow and then reach out to them. And then when things don't work out with them, they're like, oh, but I got her from your page. I'm like, no, you didn't get her from my page. I might be following her for the wrong reasons. I might follow her because of her looks or something else. And then you think because I'm following her, we're best friends, but I've never hung out with this girl. I've never tagged her. It's just social media. It's not real life. So I feel like some people out there make that mistake. Just because maybe Outer Brand follows this person doesn't mean they're friends with that person. So when you deal with that person, it's not a reflection of Outer Brand. So doing your due diligence is very important, both in love and business, because you just never know what people are hiding. And this is for the women. Be nosy and snoop around. I know men are going to say, oh no, you shouldn't. But the moment that man steps out, make yourself comfortable. I'm sorry. But look around. Look for something. Like, look around. That's the day God is going to drop a certain document. It will appear. But just look around. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel like as long as you don't snoop through that phone, you should be good. What do you think? I see you giving me the side eye.
Bombastic side eye.
No, but is it, don't you snoop when you go to your girl's place?
Yeah, once in a while you have to do some background check. Like you said, you may be dealing with a criminal. But anyway, this scamming just requires some self-awareness because depends also on the scammer. Some people are very sharp. You've heard of these guys, this guy who was arrested. This guy used to pose on Instagram, show off a lot. Ash Papi. Now that guy was like the sample were like next level scammer.
Yahoo, yeah.
Yeah, they are always. And another thing, before even we go that direction, I don't know why West Africans are the ones who are professionals in that sector.
You can't say that. They'll come for us in the comment section. But I know you can say that. It's fine.
They have a high African index?
These guys are terrorizing us. I don't know what's wrong. Nigerians. Ghanaians.
Yeah.
Ghanaians.
Yeah, Ghanaians too.
You guys, when it comes to scamming, I give them respect. This can scam.
Yeah.
You're known everywhere for scamming. Like, damn.
They do a lot of like the Yahoo boys. Let me not generalize. It could be any African anywhere. The Yahoo boys. But don't you feel like that's because they have skills? They have computer skills.
Exactly.
And they don't have a good outlet for using those skills, so they end up scamming. Do you think so?
Highly skilled. Do
you want to gain that skill?
Me?
You delayed.
But I respect them. Though they're doing bad, it's not good to scam, but these guys they are terrorizing. Yeah,
Rachel, do you have something?
And the victims are, at the end of the day, they're the ones to suffer.
Okay.
There are so many types of scams, but I'm not here to educate anyone about that. Please use your smartphones or whatever you have to learn about this. But from some of the things you people have said, and there's so many things I see from online stories and crime stories and so many other things, but even on ground, I feel like the most common nowadays is the romance scam. Like, and the thing is, those people are very clever and are very organized. Like, they have tried so many techniques that it's usually successful for them. So by the time they come to you, they're not ignorant, So it's best like for anyone to educate themselves about these different types of scams. But also if if let's say you are in America and you're dating a girl from Uganda, yeah, it's online before you meet and everything, and then you're doing these phone calls and texting and all that. You could have gotten her from the online platform like the Pan-African dating show, you know, and
Yeah.
you think, oh, since she's from the Pan-African dating show, I can easily like can
She's
trust
okay.
her
She's
or
looking for real
okay or
love.
something like that. Yeah, it's not like we don't vet the people we bring on and all that, but we can't really have all their information, you know, or we can't know their intentions. So help yourself, be an adult, you know, do your research, get as much information as you can about this person, but also it's a process, you know. Don't rush things. Don't miss one step and then you go to the other step. Because I believe most people in a relationship, there is a limit you have when you want to finance your woman. So you put that aside and you're like, I am not going beyond this. I don't care how many problems you have. I've not met you and all that. So if it's this and that, I'm out. You know, if that's not going to keep you in the relationship, next. So the other thing is some of you get so excited. You see, maybe we've talked about the businesses and all that. And then you already have this girl you're talking to, or maybe you have fear. You're like, oh, I think Uganda is the best thing for me. I'm sending you money to start a business. Who are you sending that money in the first place, you know? So you've not even tested out things on ground, but because maybe she has talked to you and she's like, oh, by the way, you know, my friend is doing this. I think it'd be best if we also start it. And you get excited. You're like, yeah, she's sweet and all that. I'll just send her this money and we start something. No. If you're funding that, even if you're funding it 50%, whatever percentage, if you know it's money you're going to cry about, do not send that money or do not invest that money. The other thing is, aside from the romance and all that, some people meet people who sell them, because some people are so good at pitching their ideas and selling their ideas. They are scam. Because like I said, they have already done this, so they are so good. So they sell the idea and maybe they convince you that the company is already running, or you know, it's in works or something like that. And then you really want to put away all your life investment into this, but you've not done any research, because in this day and age, most people, especially if you have a smartphone and you're logged in anywhere, most of your information is usually out there. So if you have to scout the webs for months and weeks, do it to find that tiny information on that someone. And sometimes these people are from circles where you can get information about them. So maybe you could do that before you start something. Someone, get to know about them, like what's their history like, and then ask questions. You know, ask questions, but also take it process by process. Now, for the others, be careful. That's another thing. Don't be reckless. You know, don't think because it's Africa, you know, these people are dull and all that. No. It's far from that.
Yeah.
If these people scam us from here on ground, it's what's like Oshe said. It's so many people who keep calling you, and you know, these telecom companies come out and they're warning. They're even making like a whole video about it. Or you know, like when you're playing a video on YouTube, but they're on ads and all that. They're like, please, this is the number you should call. If these people call you like this, don't do this. Don't put your PIN, you know, your mobile PIN and all that, because they also know it's going on and they can't help, but they can only give you a bit of advice to help you on how to go about it.
Okay, Rachel, well said. So guys, what are your last remarks?
Let me just say this about there are a lot of fake rich people here in Kampala. So like if you're a person from the United States and you've worked, but you don't really know like business people, entrepreneurs, usually they don't live an opulent lifestyle. Like, because if you're really in the business, you're in the business all the time. Like me, like I'm in the business all the time, right? Like I eat, shit, and sleep the business. So now, people, when you're from the diaspora, they can come in and say, well, you know what? You see these things differently than us. I was watching some guy from Sierra Leone. He was like, yeah, you should invest in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leoneans, people, we have people here that can run your business for you while you're outside of like, that's a no. It's a catastrophe. Nobody will run your business the right way if you're not inside of the country. Those are lies. Also, there are opportunities here in Uganda that are very great and lucrative. But, anybody that's letting you believe that, like, let's say, for example, you meet a girl. Oh, we can start this business. Most people are not business people. So they don't know how to run a business anywhere in the world. So now you start a business with this person. You don't know how to run it. She's going to say she doesn't know how to run it. Even if she's in the business and there's a market for it, how does that person redistribute profits and those things, right? So Africa is the kind of place, most countries in Africa, unless you have family there, which is even still bad, right? You need to come here and do everything for yourself. The opportunities are very, very many here, and there are a lot of different ones. You can only usually really do one at a time. Stop believing that you're going to start a business, get rich off the business, and you're not really doing any work in the business. Anybody that's saying that is a liar. Mm-hmm. The fact is, you're going to work your ass off if you come here. It is going to be hard. Just before this podcast, I stayed up working till noon. Then we had to start at like 3. So I had 3 hours of sleep. Then after this, I'll take a nap. I'll be back on the night shift till 12 again in the afternoon. That's what it takes to do these things. If you're not going to be willing to do that, don't let anybody make you believe that Africa is just so easy. Because if that was the case, everybody would be doing it.
Yep.
And it's not easy. It is hard. You're dealing with people that you hire that don't get the system. They need time to get the system. You need physical capital to run the business. You need to get the business where it's profitable, then reinvest it in the business. And then you're going to do a lot of your own personal sacrifice to make the business work. People, I guess, people who are very opulent, taking a lot of pictures on Instagram, taking pictures with powerful people. But most people are probably broke. Yeah. They don't have any industry you can tie them to. They're just middlemen. So that's something you should always look at. People that taking pictures a little bit too perfect with luxury on trips, bottles of wine with influencers all the time. Those are always frauds. Mm-hmm. Rich people, for the most part, don't want you to know that they're rich. Rich people who are doing very well are not going to be out there showing it. Not in a country like this unless you want to die or get robbed, something like that for the most part, or be a target. So if you're doing well in Africa, most people I see coming from banks and stuff like that, that you wouldn't even know they had money because they don't want you to know. Yeah, who wants you to know that, oh, I'm rich? Those are scammers who are broke, pretending to be rich, want to take your money. So, like I said, don't invest in any business with your girlfriend, people you don't know, friends, especially if you don't know the industry. You should already come in here doing the business industry you already know. Yeah, if you don't know it, learn one and then come. Because how can you teach something that you don't know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's it.
Well said, Brian.
What maybe I can emphasize, most people get scammed on the internet. Actually, most people believe what they see on the internet, and that's how they're easily scammed. Most people end up seeing guys maybe living a lavish life, like the way Oshi has said. Yeah, people portray that life. And most of them are usually just scammers. So if you're dumb and you just look at someone, you base him off his social media. Because I know some guys who do that. And even actually on TikTok, there's a guy on TikTok who always posing around with Porsche cars. Like, I know the real owner of the cars, but this guy poses the cars. Like, he makes videos. Like, man, I see I've just bought a new Range Rover 2021 version 1. And whenever I check the comments, people are like falling for it. They're like, oh my God, wow. Teach us, show us. You get? So such a guy, is very simple for him to scam. If at all he really wants to scam. So don't judge guys basing off their social media. Most of the guys who pose like that are usually not are usually not real. Then, of course, maybe I would like to call upon people, the scammers. There are other legal ways of making money besides scamming. Because remember, when you scam, when you scam someone, you bring pain onto that person, and you never know where that person. You might have scammed the person's life savings, and you send that person back to the village. So, let's explore legal ways of making money.
Yeah.
And also the government should come in and help the youth. Because you see, most of the people who are engaged in this scamming are usually the youths who are trying to make it. And they are the unemployed youths. Like those Nigerians, most of the Yahoo boys are just unemployed. But if they are to provide them like opportunities, and they will have to leave this scamming thing, and maybe so that's it.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to pick a leaf from you and also have a message out to the scammers, people scamming. I don't think it's the government that should do anything, because at the end of the day, it's a moral thing. If you feel like it's okay to steal from someone, whether you have or not, then that's on you at the end of the day. The government will come in and even give you a job, and you'll still find ways to steal or scam or do something like that. So I feel like it's more of a moral issue. But still, the government should help the people if it can. But I feel like with scammers, it's more like don't do that. I know I know it's like the most clear thing, but like just don't. Like why should you scam people? Like just let people be. You know, people sweat a lot for their money and people work hard for their money, so maybe you should not scam, like he said. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Outer, tell people where they can find you.
Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Outer Brand, OUTA Brand. Go check me out.
Okay, and O'Shea, do not message him or anything like that.
O'Shea Duke.
But if you have any links or anything like that, you can email us at teamkenganda@gmail.com. Also follow us on all our social media pages at Kenganda Nation. If you want to see Miss Kohani Hani, head over to the Pan-African Dating Show. Shout out to Rachel for gracing us with her voice. You'll never see her face, but shout out to her. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.